Good morning, Monsters and Rock Cruisers. The members of Symphony X. As it being their first time here on Monsters of Rock, it was nice to have them on the Cruise to the Edge, which the same production company does. A different cruise, a different style of flow of music. So ironically, on that cruise, I did a Q&A with the members, and we had a spirited conversation. But we are not going to repeat said conversation because even though it would be fresh here at Monsters, we were all bright and bushy-tailed, and it was a little rough in the morning, so I'm glad coffee is there because we were hanging a bit. I want to thank all of you for being here, and I want your participation in full effect. I almost demand it, so raise your hand, and we're just going to dive right in. And also, we're going to talk about the show tonight, and Symphony X. And the beauty, I'll just say this one little bit, and then we'll just dive in. The most important thing that I appreciate, especially with rock and metal bands, that have been dealing with this for 40 years, working independent labels, working at major labels, driving a van, selling the merchandise, marketing, radio, retail, done it all. But when styles change and the ebb and flow of what the radio plays or doesn't play, it's just a sign of the times where bands like this, especially I would say more in Europe, more accepting over in Europe. That's why there's all those festivals on a year-round basis. Sweden Rock, Vaken, Grass Pop, Download, on and on and on. And on those festivals, you have so many different variety of bands, so many different styles. And you can just appreciate, at least I do, appreciate those bands that you may never have heard of before, or it's like, oh, that's not rock and metal, but it's interestingly enough going to catch your attention in your ear and the eyes. So with the progressive rock of Symphony X, hey, this is not just an 80s hair metal cruise. We're all inclusive, so it just depends on what gets booked, so just want to say that. But hey, glad to have you guys here. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, first question right up there. What? All right, nice shirt.
I generally don't need this, but I'll speak the microphone. First of all, I just want to say thank you. I love your music. I love the prog stuff. Your music is amazing. And honestly, I don't really have a question. I really just want to give you something. So, I'm a little nervous. I'm like sweaty. No, I did a whole career in the military. I have a bunch of military challenges going. U.S. Navy, so you guys are on my turf. Don't mess around. But I love just walking around and meeting you guys, but just a little gift because you guys gave us so much with amazing music, and I listened to it. I mean, I have 15 years out on Big Blue defending the country, and I listened to your stuff motivate me in the gym to try to stay in shape. So I just want to give a little bit back from me to you. It's a military challenge boy, and that's it.
Nice. Thank you for your service. That's awesome. There we go. There's a retired SWAT commander from Arizona. He has one too. So he's a detective from another state. So it's really cool. Those are appreciate those. Questions? Sorry, Johnny.
Thank you, Will. So I've been a fan since the beginning, and my question is, you guys have known, at least it seems to me, that you guys, when you write albums, they're conceptual. And my question is, do you come up with a theme when you write the album and adjust the lyrics to that theme? Or do you start writing musical lyrics and then see where it's going, and then, wow, this could be a good concept?
Michael,
with the concept, yeah, always. And I think, like for me, just writing music, just sitting and trying to come up with stuff, it's like, I'd rather have some kind of an idea. So when we talk about these concepts or themes, you know, it's usually something for me I can kind of see, like films. So start kind of making the music that would fit that, like Paradise Lost. It's like, okay, I know it's going to be a little darker. It's going to have some choirs. It's going to have that kind of thing. And then we'll get together and we'll start doing lyrics together. Or the opposite, you know?
Can't hear very well.
Like that music to go with.
how's that?
There you go.
All right, so he's not a singer,
Eat the mic. But like a song like The Odyssey, it's like, okay, we knew we were going to do that, and we knew the story, and now with the music, it's like, all right, kind of fill in the blanks and make the storyline with the music, and then get the lyrics.
You guys have tackled lots of different cool concepts, heaven and hell, spiritual warfare, iconoclast kind of interesting kind of character.
Man and Machine.
What we're about to go through with robots taking over the world, it is kind of funny that, sometimes we touch on things and then, like, it happens. Nailed it! But seriously, sorry, my voice is fucked up today. Too much tequila. Just to back up what he was saying about the writing, Michael is, I say this on stage actually all the time, because he's more than a great guitar player. He's an incredible composer. And like a classical composer, he can sit there and fucking, just hear something, and he'll write it out. He'll write out the string section, the chords, he can hear everything, and he writes it all out, the music and shit. And then I gotta sit there and my ADHD ass is already, I don't even know what I was thinking about 10 seconds ago. Yeah, right, so whatever. But it's a good collaboration that we have. I'm more of a singer-songwriter guy, so I'm the opposite. If I hear music from him, my brain starts working. I get a visual, so then I can kind of make a story. But most of the time we settle on a theme, and then at least he has the theme. We have some lyrical structure. The lyrics kind of come together once the music's already, because that's kind of how I operate. I need to hear it, feel it, and also for phrasing, things like that. Rhythmically though, like it works for him if the lyrics are there and the story's flowing, so musically he can start to put things together, and that's how we kind of do it. That's why it takes it down long. It's all my fault. It's my fault. Thank you. But we also don't want to rush it because we're very blessed that we're even here, to be honest with you. I mean, and even on this particular boat, for Larry to put us on here, we're really honored that he take a shot on us because, we're kind of, I know we're kind of oddballs on this one, we're kind of heavy, kind of prog, and not quite sure how we go over, So, I mean, thank you for coming here to at least listen to us fucking bullshit you about everything. We don't take any, my point is we don't take anything for granted, so we take a lot of time with the material and stuff because we can still do it, We're really blessed that we can still play, we can still do our thing, and we want to make sure we can give you guys the best product we can. Product is a terrible word. Not a product. Albums today, it's not the money makers for us anymore. You guys going to the shows are. That's what makes it for us. That's why all of us in the business are able to survive. Our thing is about legacy. So everything we put out, if it's a long time, it's a stamp in history. And so it's like, okay, when we're gone, this is what we live by. So that's why it takes so damn long. Anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna shut up now. Next one.
Question. Okay, here.
I just want to know from the first solo album Michael did, how did the transition to what now is Symphony X happening?
Really close to the mouth.
Yeah, like this?
Like this. Project.
Say again, how did it progress?
Yeah, how did the transition to now with Symphony X happen from the first solo album?
I think when we were younger, there was just different things that we liked, and we weren't as mature. Maybe songwriting and other things were important. Shredding was more important than melody, and it's not.
Wow! You heard it here first. No, I think what he's asking is, didn't the Japanese guys tell you, hey, put a band around yourself after your solo album?
That's how it started.
That's what he's
I
asking.
thought you meant musically, how did it progress?
No, you want to know how the band formed after.
Oh yeah. So I did this solo record way back in the day,
You
and
did that completely by yourself?
yeah, I did it by myself. I had like a 4-track or a bunch of shitty gear at the time. And, it was in like the guitar magazines, the Spotlight column and that kind of thing. And then got into some Japan magazines, Burn, and some label called me, and it was really bizarre. And they said, "Do you have a band?" I didn't have a band, but I'm like, yeah, I got a band. So then, you know, found these guys, and that was it.
Sure wasn't Colonel Tom Parker. I'm gonna put you in the light, son.
The best was I had to audition on the phone. They didn't even hear me. Remember that? Yeah.
Russ, tell the story. That's that I never know. Interesting.
Yeah. You had like the whatever for, what was it, the animation games? I don't know. And then they were like, you know, you're like, yeah, Russ, we want you in the band, but the label needs to hear you and sing and shit. So like, and then, you know, the Japanese are very, very cool, but they're very like, you know, strict and methodical, honorable. You know, probably the best people we've ever dealt with in the business in terms of like, you know, what they say is what they're gonna do. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, so like I remember standing there and you're like, you know, okay man, they're on the phone. And there's silence. Yeah, it was you and me. And I'm like, you know, I don't know, fucking, you know, if you dare play the game, I'm singing this whole fucking thing with no music. No, this one right here was singing. And then it was really quiet, you know, and then you picked up the phone or whatever, and they were like, yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, cool, man, cool. I'm just standing there, like, yeah, I was just butt naked, just standing there, you know. And he hung up the phone. He goes, "Hey, you liked it? You're in." I'm like, okay, great. You know, like, that was really weird with the label coming out. Who's in the band? Because the band wasn't. Maybe they thought he was full of shit. You know, like, they really have a band. Well, if you want to hear the singer. But it worked out. I remember that was a funny moment. Like, I had an audition on the phone, you know, and they're so quiet. They didn't say anything. They didn't even say hi to me, you know. So.
Well, it speaks highly of the fact that you were able to deliver because you got the gig. So,
yeah.
but under those circumstances where it's, you know, that's not even a proper way to hear a voice through a phone. It's like camera phone audio. It's going to be overmodulated depending on where you're standing, and the acoustics of a room. It's like, okay, thank you for filming this, but it's like it's not a representative. Yeah, it's not representative. It's not representative of you know, what.
They probably just didn't believe me.
Right.
That's good.
Yeah.
Hey, question.
Russ, put you on the spot here. Who is your favorite heavy metal singer, alive or dead?
That's a really difficult question. Wow. First name Ronnie, last name Dio. First heavy metal. I mean, you know, you say heavy metal. I mean, he gave us this and everything, but he's really an iconic rock singer too. You go back to the Rainbow days, things like that. Before he went off on his own, before he was in Black Sabbath, you know, he was that to me. Like, you know, I got into him really young, and when I first discovered him, I did this to all the bands I like. I went back and said, wow, how did he start? Well, I went to hear the first thing he did. So all it would be went all the way back to Elf, you know, and all this other stuff, and coming back and listening to his progression, you know. And I really love the Rainbow stuff a lot, you know. And then of course, you know, the Sabbath stuff was great, but he was my biggest influence in heavy metal, I would say.
Very cool.
Question here.
I was going to ask, who's your favorite band to tour with, and if they're not on the ship, your least favorite?
What a great question. God, I don't know, guys. Who's our favorite band to tour with? Overkill was a lot of fun.
We're all Jersey guys.
All Jersey guys. And Blitz was a good time. And we actually had some drama on that one. That was great. Our crew guy got in a fight with their crew guy on the bus, and he's a big dude. And then Big E got up, God rest his soul. He was their light guy, you know, and he was a huge, just a beast of a man, like 6'6", you know, just a big dude. And he got up to break the fight. I was like, hey! Boom, boom. And then the buses are on these like air pads. I don't know if you guys know this, but it's the bus. The actual bus suspension is a giant airbag. You know, the whole chassis. So the whole top that we're sitting on sits on the chassis like this, right? So it's like they can raise and lower it when we park it to level it out and all this kind of shit. But the problem is when he went to that side and the flight the bus went, and the driver was like, and you hear the rumble strip that's supposed to wake you up when you're sleeping. And the driver's like, what the fuck's going on, man? he pulled the bus over. It was the whole thing. I never forget that. That was when we were. That was actually when we were going up to do the Montreal metal festival with Maiden, with Iron Maiden and all them. Yeah. But yeah, Overkill was funny. But I like Iced Earth too. They were like funny too. They were great. They were great. Least favorite? See, that's what she wants. It's like my wife. You know, she wants the dirt, the drama. I don't know who's our least. I don't really have a least favorite band.
Is there a band that like cut your sound or your
Oh,
rights?
well, that would be Dream Theater, of course.
Might have been a good show
Like
in there.
putting Mike Portnoy. Yeah.
Mike.
It wasn't like a thing that they were. It wasn't malicious. It's like standard operating procedure for old school stuff when you're opening for a band. We were on an arena tour with them, just us and them. In Europe, you know, and it all started in the beginning because we were the first like opening band in the Ice Hall in Scandinavia to ever set the record for opening band merch sales. They saw it and I were like, okay, we're gonna cut the band. So we went from having a decent light thing, you know, and sound to like we had like 3 lights, you know, in an arena. They just lit us and a big black curtain and there's 3 lights right behind us. Yeah, not the whole kid. And we still, you know, but it wasn't malicious, I guess. Maybe it was, I don't know. After that, we became best of friends.
It's the initiation process.
Yeah, sharing is caring. And get the other guys in the band involved. Pretty simple question. Who are you listening to right now? I'll find it out.
Well, a band that I discovered recently that I like, they don't sound anything like us. A band called Dogma. I don't know if you guys know them.
They dressed as white-faced nuns, and it's a whole color different concept.
It's like they dress up like these crazy nuns.
All-girl band.
All-girl band, and I think they're really good. Anybody else?
Yeah, mandatory.
Let's see. Still working. I'm still listening to old school stuff.
Okay, what
Yeah.
Lots of purple.
Deep Purple, yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorite. UK.
Yeah, like old school.
Old school
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's
Dio.
Yeah.
Jay?
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard to find new music that I really get into and listen to over and over. So I'm kind of all over the map. My playlist is like everything from Miles Davis to Slayer, everything in between, you know. So I'm trying to think. I love this Marvin band. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I heard that song.
Very cool.
I drafted Danny. We're gonna do some fusion-y stuff together. I think so. Yeah, you know, we're all kind of all over the place stylistically. We listen to all kinds of stuff. So there's probably a band or two that I'm forgetting right now, but yeah, just honestly kind of all over the map.
What would be your favorite if I had to pin you down?
Favorite band?
Yeah, favorite band period. I didn't care genre. Beatles, Zeppelin, Symphony X. Hopefully you're positive.
Probably have to go Rush.
Rush, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Rush. Russ.
Excuse me. You guys are gonna laugh at me, but fucking yacht rock, dude. That's all I really stick to.
Yeah.
Put it on the backyard.
Steely Dan.
You know, I actually sang Lido Shuffle.
Yeah,
I was like, they're doing the yacht rock. They're like, I want to do a song. And I don't know why, but you know, we all grew up with that stuff, and you think you don't remember all that stuff really, and all of a sudden you start hearing it, it's like comes back. It's just good hang music with friends and stuff. You're at a barbecue. That seems to be the thing that's on my radio at home all the time. Even with me and my wife are just chilling out. She like, you know, put it on. So and there's actually a cover band around where we live in New Jersey called Summer Breeze. So she knows all the time as well. She dragged me out. It was actually pretty good. So I've been listening to that kind of stuff, and I think my favorite right now, not really a brand new artist, but recent. I'm from a country music family originally. My mom and dad are bluegrass players and stuff, so Chris Stapleton's like the guy I really like right now. It's just amazing to me.
Yeah, man.
It's simple. It's the stuff I always listened to when I was a kid. It's Sabbath, Priest, Maiden, old Scorpions, Rush, Kansas, and Boston, and a lot of classical music. A lot of film score stuff. John Williams, you know, Indy, Star Wars, and Jaws, and all that stuff. So for like the rock and metal, it's
you know, the stuff when I was a kid that was really special. You know, the Priest and Maiden and the Sabbath.
Yeah, we're all here to go see Steve Harris in person. This guy's
I also have to mention that actually what I've been listening to the most is the 180 hours of music this guy sends me for the new album that's supposed to be 55 minutes long, and it's like 10 hours worth of material. No joke. No, you're crazy. You're crazy. And, yeah.
Remember what he suggested last time?
Wow. We can touch on it if you want.
I got a question here, but hold
Right,
on.
go ahead.
Hey guys, big fans of your music. Did you guys have problems based on kind of genres? Because you're not really metal, you're not really rock, you're kind of a little proggy with like record labels, tours.
We're here. What the fuck? We're definitely tilting the boat. We're listing to the port side, you know, a little bit, you know. Exactly. It's really tough for us to kind of like, but we don't have to sweat that. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes, yeah, it'd be weird. We'd be in a situation where maybe everybody doesn't really know what we're doing. But I mean, even on this boat, like, you know, like we were on super late the other night. People came in. And people are tired. You know, people are gonna split. But after that, you know, you're thinking, ah, man, maybe that wasn't such a good gig, you know, whatever. But so many people come up to me and say, hey, we never heard you guys before. We love the band. Blah, blah, blah. That's all that really matters. If we don't get caught up on the genre thing, that's the promoter's problem. You know what I'm saying? And we've been pretty blessed to be able to play in so many different festivals, and that's how we know all these really heavy bands. And like, got to tour like a, you know, Megadeth, and we had a tour with what you would call it. We went from Haken, we had those guys come out with Super Frog, really great guys, to going out with Blitz and those guys, and Overkill. We kind of hang with a lot of different people because of that cross-genre pollination. You know, Queensryche guys, you know, like, you know. So we're kind of happy that, you know, we're kind of like, we don't know what we don't know how to classify us right. The other thing too is really crazy. Is like, this is like, traditionally I guess this is an 80s rock cruise, right? 80s bands, right? I don't think we fit into any decade of time. We're not an 80s band, we're not a 90s band, we're not a 2000 band. We're a weird thing. We don't have a certain time frame that we fit into and say, oh, let's categorize these guys as this decade of music. We don't define any decade of music. We're our own definition. I think that's I think it's a byproduct that the records took so damn long. You know, because we would get into something and then that whole thing would go away. And we watch the bands come and go, and then it was like a stock market ticker, you know? We watch these bands peak and go down, and then we're just like this, like your 401k. You know, like, over the years, and here we are.
I'll take it.
What's happening? We're the 401k of rock and roll.
Nice.
Take a retirement plan.
Outstanding. Ladies and gents, we have time for like one more question. Okay. As far as this will go. Possessed.
Are you guys, do you still practice every day? And if you do practice every day, how long are you practicing each of your instruments?
You guys want to take some of this? You need a break?
I wouldn't say every day anymore, but it's kind of like comes and goes in waves. You know, when I'm home, there's a lot of stuff going on, so I keep my chops up and I keep playing. But when I know a tour's coming or working on a record, then I'm putting in extra hours. So it's not like when you're 18 and you're playing 12 hours a day. So minimum an hour, I would say, and then when I'm really grinding, maybe 3-4 hours a day, that kind of thing. Yeah, for the record, I'll put in, extra time, as much time as I have, but with kids and life and all that other stuff, you kind of, again, it's not like when you're 18, you had all the time in the world necessarily, so, but also we've been doing this a long time now, so your muscle memory's a lot better 30 years into it than it was back then, so it kind of, if you're like, oh shit, I haven't kind of played in a week and been so busy and get back, but it kind of comes right back when it takes a day to make you feel normal again. Yeah, but definitely still trying to do new things and get better all the time still. So, the new album is definitely, obviously everyone's been waiting a while, but we want to give everybody something to smile about. So I think we're all still shedding.
No real dedicated practice schedule, but I keep up on the classical chops on piano. So once you get going, 1 hour can turn into 5 hours. Let's say every other day. practice.
I don't fucking practice at all. I know, man. I don't. I mean, maybe I should have. But no, seriously, I even when I show up to do the thing with these guys, if it's a song we haven't done in a while, like, I used to look at the lyrics and stuff. Now I don't even bother with that because I want to pull from muscle memory as much as I can, you know, to do what I do. And because I coached football for like 8 years. My son's a football player and stuff, and I coached the town team and everything. I used to tell the kids all the time, "You think you stink? You think you stink?" And so I gotta practice what I preach, right? But it is true. If you're up there thinking about stuff, for all of us, really, but you know,
Muscle memory's amazing.
it's amazing. Like my mouth will just move, but I didn't even know what the fuck's coming out. Like, that's the lyric. I look out of the gas. You know, and so it's like that's kind of how it happens. But also too, you know, I sing in Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and so you know, to keep up the physical chops, you know, I do have that every year, and that's a really grueling schedule for vocalists and stuff. They really practice us like for a good solid 2 weeks a lot before we head out on the road. And then we do doubles, you know, we'll do a matinee and night show. So that keeps me vocally in shape. I'm in the gym all the time, you know, with that. That's more or less that's what I have to do at my age now, is just to stay. I lost about 35 plus pounds last year, and it's helped me out. Oh, thank you. And it's hard at our age, right, guys? Oh, yeah. Right, guys, it sucks.
The Russell Allen weight loss program.
All right, I'll talk to you later about that. But seriously, yeah, physical things actually for a singer is more important. I have to keep my diaphragm, the muscles out there, and so that's kind of what I do. Yeah. Oh, you always fucking play.
I mean, every day I play something. You know, I'll get up in the morning, I have my coffee down in the studio. Am I practicing? Not necessarily. I'm writing. You know, playing guitar or some piano or cello, whatever I'm fucking around with. But when we have rehearsal, and I go to that first rehearsal, and I start shitting the bed a little on something, then I'll go home and practice like for the next day.
His eyes get really wide. That's great.
Because like, yeah, we're getting older, so most of this stuff comes back. But then, yeah, to practice like for a full day, going over everything, that's about it for me.
So it's like a daily regimen as far as practice. I don't do that. But if we're gonna do a tour, I'll start practicing really, really early, like a couple months before, and I'll start doing like an hour a day. And if we're gonna do an album, then I really put in time. You know, minimum hour, 2 hours until my fingers get hurt, you know, then I stop. But as a general rule, I don't practice, but I practice when I have to. Let's put it that way.
All right. And with that, 10:15 on the pool stage. I will be bringing them out. I want to say this now because what I like to do on the Monsters Rock cruise, do this for 12 plus years, I always like to thank the crew and staff, everyone that puts this all together. I particularly want to thank the gentlemen in Symphony X. We did this a month ago. I love you guys dearly, and I told you, it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice. People showed up. So
This was actually better than.
and I appreciate all of you being here. And
the questions were really good.
yes, so hopefully Russ and myself aren't going to be sounding like this hours later. I got a radio show to do, and I got editing up the ass.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, put it together for Will.
One final time tonight, Symphony X.